Peace, love, respect, and solidarity, family. Welcome to another A.G.M perspective where we discuss real issues in real time. Now, today's topic is NFAC Exodus. Now, the Grand Master has been, how can I put it, dropping hints that part of the agenda is maybe getting land in the motherland and having the NFAC Exodus. I don't know where the land is going to be. I don't know what country the land, I don't know how big or vast the land is going to be. But I do know that the land will be on the mother continent, Africa. Now, I see a lot of comments in the comment section where a lot of brothers and sisters asking a lot of questions about NFAC, pertaining to NFAC coming to address certain concerns in either New York or Chicago. And I let the people know that there's certain limitations as far as what NFAC could do at this time, which is can't march into certain cities that don't have open carry. Sometimes it's not what people want to hear, but it's the truth. Now, are these people registered with NFAC? I doubt it. But they're demanding results from NFAC. And they're not even registered with NFAC. I don't know if they're being malicious. I don't know if they're being mischievous. I don't know what their motives are. Unless you sacrifice for the struggle, you can't expect nothing from the struggle. You have to support the cause. You have to play your role. Everybody got a part to play. We have to each play our parts. Now, as I said before, the brother Grandmaster Jay is saying that the minds of the people, a lot of people are not ready for nation building. A lot of people are not ready for the exodus. A lot of people are not ready to build an environment, a new state that they conceive in their minds. And when I say a new state, I'm talking about occupying land and building something like a Black Wall Street. from scratch. How many of you are willing to put in the work? A lot of people talk about they with it, but that's just talk. Anybody could talk. But how many people are really serious about putting in the work, building a new nation, a new state, on land that hasn't been tamed, just open stretch of land. You're starting from scratch. Now the brother's talking about organizing with like-minded people, like-minded individuals who share the same vision with brothers like Marcus Garvey. For us, by us. Right? We're talking about uniting the people and building something of our own. Newly independent state. Viable and stable. With our own identity. Which will usher in social harmony and economic growth. Imagine you bringing or building a society amongst like-minded people, and instead of having a traditional government, you have a council of the best minds among us sitting at one table to make the best decisions possible to move forward for the people. So we're talking about hospitals, banks, schools, sports stadiums, telecommunications, energy, agriculture, transportation, security, waste management, all the facets of society will be owned by us, formed by us, supported by us. Imagine, think about it. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to build a new Black Wall Street? Or a quote unquote Wakanda? And we know Wakanda was a fictitious place, but we know our potential, and we do know that it is possible to achieve. And maybe even go beyond Wakanda. But are you ready? You see, like I said in my comment section, I get a variety of mentalities and I try to address as many as I could. But we are damaged people and we need help. We're traumatized people and we need time to heal. That's why the brother is contemplating an exodus, a black exit to go re-energize, get in tune with culture, language, and all the things that we lost to become whole again, to become strong again, to get in touch with our spirituality and our place within this whole universe. Are you ready? Are you ready? When things don't go your way, after a little trials and tribulation, you're ready to throw in the towel. You're ready to give up. The brother don't want that kind of mentality or that weakness. When he's trying to build a nation. Talk about nation building. Need strong, like-minded individuals. Now, he doesn't expect everybody to pick up and go, but those who are tired of living a certain way under white supremacy will be expected to put in the work. Starting from scratch. Just imagine building from scratch. Are you that individual? Are you strong enough to build a nation? Are you strong enough to build a state? Many are called, but few were chosen. Are you the chosen one? Are you ready? What part will you play? Will you be a teacher? Will you be in the military? Will you be a police? A banker? A doctor? Will you be a farmer? Ask yourself, what part are you prepared to play in building a new nation? Is your heart courageous enough to undergo this challenge? Do you have the fortitude? Do you have the persistence? To take on this challenge? Do you have the dedication? NFAC is looking for a few like-minded and productive people. Not people who are easily broken, not people who are easily led astray, not people who's coming with the mischievousness and the foolishness that they've picked up along the way, along the journey. You're talking about strong-minded individuals who have a belief and a love for blackness, a belief and a love that we, the black people, the melanated people, can do anything that we put our minds to. But we're not bound by certain constraints. We are evolutionary people who can walk away from past lives that we deem toxic and step into a new role which is healthier, whether it's consuming wholesome food without preservatives and artificial this and artificial that, to the regarding our brothers and sisters with love and respect and camaraderie, leaving all the dirty ways that we picked up from the slave master behind us, putting the good foot forward and not looking back. Are you that person? Are you ready for that challenge? Many are called, but few are chosen. All of us like to say, we're ready. But will you miss all the folly that you have grown accustomed to? Are you ready to become a new you, a better you? Are you ready to evolve to the next level? Like-minded individuals. When you have like-minded people, I'm not saying that you won't have disagreements, because sometimes you have personality clashes. But when you have like-minded individuals that have the greater goals in sight, then you know the petty differences are meaninless. They're trivial. You don't allow them to get into the way of the greater plan. Building a new nation, we learn from all of our mistakes. We shed the worst part of us and leave it behind and take the best part of us forward. We know that anything we build, we have to be able to defend. History has taught us that much. We know that the melanin that binds us is the cohesive glue the cement that will keep us strong and keep us together. Everybody have a talent. Everybody plays a part. Everybody's necessary. But only if you have that mindset, that productive mindset. I'm not talking about that devilish mindset. I'm talking about that productive mindset. That mindset that want to build, not destroy. That mindset that want to contribute, not criticize. Are you that individual? NFAC is looking for like-minded Black people who are ready to move to the next level and ascend. To create that utopia that we always envisioned but could never obtain under white supremacy. Are you ready for the exodus? Are you ready This is a question that you have to answer for yourself. Nobody could answer it for you. Nobody could answer it for you. Nation building. Marcus Garvey. A lot of brothers in the Pan-African movement believe that we could never rise up and become the best that we could become under an oppressive regime, under an oppressive government. Therefore, we must go where we're welcome, and we must establish to see that our dreams and aspirations come into fruition. And that we become contributors and stakeholders on the continent, working hand in hand with our brothers and sisters on the mother continent who we have been poisoned to believe that they do not like us, or they do not want to care to interact with us, or they do not see us as their own. Lies. Lies. For a long time, it was shown that, Africa was undeveloped. Zebras, tigers, Tarzan. When their beautiful cities, infrastructure, transportation, skyscrapers, we have been fed lies. And those who don't travel never encounter the truth. Are you that person NFAC is looking for? Are you ready to create the utopia you've always envisioned? Are you ready to grow your own food without GMOs? Are you ready to create a society under black rule and not white supremacist rule? Are you ready to govern yourself or have those who represent your interests govern? And we're not talking about a totalitarian society. We're talking about an inclusive society, a consortium of the best minds among us. Imagine a society free of tribalism. Because we understand that we need to focus on what binds us rather than what separates us. We have been victims, and we understand the divide and conquer tactics used against us. And we know how detrimental it has been. We understand all the different tricks white supremacists have used against us. Therefore, we must shed all these mischief, bad-minded ways, mischievous, chaotic, bad-minded ways, and place them where they can't affect us anymore. But we must not be under no illusion. We understand the dangers of white supremacy, and we must always protect ourselves against it. We cannot make the same mistakes that our ancestors and forefathers made, being all acceptance or accepting of everybody. We must respect who respect us, but we must be critical of who we allow to come amongst us. Beware of the Trojan horse. We have to be vigilant. We have to be mindful. We have to remember past lessons learned, or we are doomed to repeat history. We can do it. It's not impossible. It's within us. The capabilities are within us. Anything that we put our minds to, we can achieve. But the solidarity, the trust, the love has to be there. It has to be at the foundation. We have to build on certain pillars and principles. Our foundation must be solid and virtually unbreakable. Are you that person? Are you that individual? Ask yourself the question. And be truthful to yourself. To thine own self be true. If you know you're not cut for it, don't even begin the journey. Stay and do what you've been doing. You like lollygagging and shooting the shit and bullshitting, keep on doing that. But if you want better, you want progression, then you know what you have to do. You could get with this, or you could get with that. It's your choice, and only your choice. But once you have made that choice, you have to live with that choice. Once you give your word should be unbreakable. It's the very foundation that you stand on, that you build on. So you think before you move. The Exodus is an option. So it's good to have a plan A, B, and C. It's not made for everybody. Everybody's not cut for this. But if you're ready, then you stay ready. When it's time to move out, everything will mesh together. And when you exit with a clean heart, having no remorse of what you're leaving behind. Because if you have remorse, just like in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and I'm taking you into that white supremacist book called the Bible, when they exited out the Sodom and Gomorrah, somebody looked back. Now they know what they were leaving was no good for them. They seen all the negative that they was leaving. All the negative. And they decided to exit. The one that looked back turned into a pillar of salt. Now this is just allegorical. She didn't actually turn into a pillar of salt. But see, if you leave something and you have remorse about leaving and you're missing what you're leaving, then you will turn back and be consumed with that death style. When you decide to change your life and move forward to greener pastures and a better life, then you shed the old you. All your negative behavior you leave behind. That's why I say to your own self, be true. You know your faults. You know your weaknesses. You know your idiosyncrasies. Leave all that stuff behind. All that excess baggage. You leave it behind when you move forward. All the things that have been weighing you down, you transform yourself as you step to the new ground. You come as a new person, a new individual. You have a new start, fresh start. You could become who you always wanted to be. Think about that. life change, transformation. Being a part of something historic, of something bigger than yourself. Think on that. Think about that. Embody change. Embody transformation. Embody the vision. Peace and love, people. If you love this platform and you like the video, please hit the notification button, share, like, or subscribe to this platform. Peace and love, solidarity and respect.